chosen one. Time just ran out. Not on the world. On you. The clock in heaven struck midnight and your scroll is opening whether you're ready or not. You felt it, haven't you? That pressure in the spirit. The shaking. The silence. The tension between what you see and what you sense. You've been asking, was I buried or planted? Was I hidden or forgotten? But heaven's answer is louder than your questions now. You were concealed for consecration. You were delayed for distinction. And now you are being summoned. This is not a motivational speech. This is the last warning. The veil between timelines is thin. The countdown in the unseen has hit 0, and what you do in the next few moments will echo through generations. Here at Echoes of the Chosen, we don't speak to the crowds. We speak to the remnant, the ones marked by silence, forged in fire, called from caves and deserts to stand in divine authority. If that's you, this isn't just a message. It's confirmation. A scroll with your name is being unsealed right now. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." But seasons don't last forever, and God is declaring, your season of silence has expired. This is the appointed time for your unveiling. Stay with me until the end, because what's about to be revealed will not only explain your entire life, it will activate the assignment you've been carrying in silence. This is not just a moment, it's a mandate. It's your turn to rise, and the heavens are watching, marked in silence, hidden in fire. Before the world named you, heaven marked you. You were chosen not for display, but for destiny. And because of that, hell noticed. The warfare on your life began before you had language for it. The strange rejection, the patterns of sabotage, the constant feeling of being different. Those were not coincidences. They were confirmations. When David was anointed, he didn't ascend a throne. He returned to tending sheep. Because favor rarely looks like fame in the beginning. God hides what he's holy about. You were hidden not because you were worthless, but because you were weighty. You weren't rejected. You were reserved, set apart, sealed, prepared. And while others celebrated platforms, you endured purging. Because what's forged in silence carries a sound that shakes nations. Your silence wasn't punishment. It was preservation. And now, the seal is breaking. The wilderness was your womb. God's greatest works begin in the wilderness. Moses found his voice in exile. Elijah found his mantle in a cave. Jesus was baptized in glory but tested in silence. So why were you surprised when the applause stopped? Why did you think delay meant denial? The wilderness was not your death, it was your delivery room. A sacred place where distractions die and divine DNA comes alive. Every unanswered prayer. Every night of wrestling. They were contractions, not curses. You were being positioned for power, even while feeling abandoned by it. The silence wasn't absence, it was divine surveillance. He watched you cry and took notes. He saw you trust when it made no sense and called it worship. The wilderness was never a detour. It was your becoming. The pain was a prophetic forge. Some of your greatest wounds came from people who were supposed to protect you. But pain was not your prison. It was your forge. Every betrayal carved a deeper chamber for glory. Every loss expanded your capacity to carry heaven. Joseph was sold by his brothers, forgotten in a dungeon. But the prison didn't break him. It built him. Because God will often use the cruelty of man to position the called. You cried over what left you, but what left was not your future. It was your filter. God uses pain to purify purpose, to test your hands before he trusts them with nations. The fire didn't consume you, it crowned you. Now the ashes of your story carry an oil the enemy can't counterfeit. Let the pain speak. It's saying, you survived what should have killed you, because you're meant to resurrect others. The cost of disobedience for the called. This is where the fear of God returns. To be chosen is not to be privileged. It is to be held to a higher standard. Jonah tried to flee, and the sea turned violent. Saul disobeyed and lost the throne. When God marks a life, neutrality becomes rebellion. Delayed obedience becomes disobedience, and comfort becomes compromise. You've been feeling the tension lately, the nagging unease, the misalignment in familiar places. That's the Spirit's way of saying, the old season can no longer contain your calling. You've outgrown your delay. Time is up. There is a cost to ignoring the signs, and heaven won't let you stay silent when your voice is required. The authority you forgot, you carried. The enemy's greatest fear is not your fall, it's your memory. Because if you ever remember who you are, you become unstoppable. God didn't choose you to be a bystander in spiritual warfare. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to command, to declare, to shift atmospheres with your presence. Jesus said in Luke 10:19, "I have given you authority over all the power of the enemy." You don't need more time. You need to take your place. You've been walking like a servant, but heaven sees a son, a daughter, a ruler. What you bind will be bound. What you loose will be loosed. But you must speak. There is power in your tongue. But silence kills purpose. The scroll with your name is opening. Heaven doesn't just see you, it remembers you. There is a scroll, written before time, with your name etched into its lines. And right now, in the unseen, it is being opened. Every divine nudge, every spiritual restlessness. That's your scroll stirring, because the time for wandering is over. Now comes the walking, the releasing, the fulfilling. Esther didn't seek the palace, but when her scroll opened, she stepped into a moment that changed a nation. So must you. Your life is not random. It's a divine manuscript awakening at its appointed time. God is not calling you to be impressive. He's calling you to be obedient to what's written. You are not alone. The rise of the remnant. The enemy tried to isolate you because he feared what would happen if you connected. But you are not the only one hearing this call. All across the earth, the chosen are rising. In bedrooms, on buses, in prison cells, in quiet corners of despair. They're hearing the same whisper, "It's time." Elijah thought he was alone, but God said, "I have reserved 7,000. You are not crazy. You are not late. You are not alone. You are part of the remnant, the few called to awaken the many. This is not a trend, it's a trumpet. The remnant is rising, and you are among them. Heaven is aligning voices, and the sound will break systems. Your life is meant to echo. This was never just about you. Your breakthrough is the beginning of someone else's belief. Your yes is the ripple that unlocks their deliverance. The way you rise will set a precedent. The way you obey will awaken others. You are not the message. You are the megaphone. Like Mary Magdalene, you were set free to carry first light. Like Paul, you were blinded to be awakened. Like Gideon, you were called from fear into fire. You are not the echo of the world. You are the echo of the chosen. Let your life resound like prophecy fulfilled. Let your obedience shake timelines. Let your yes ignite generations. Let this moment echo in eternity. You weren't late. You were hidden in plain sight, sealed by heaven for a moment such as this. Not to blend in, but to break patterns. Not to fit the mold, but to fulfill a prophecy. The countdown wasn't punishment. It was preparation. God didn't forget you. He preserved you. And now the silence is breaking like dawn. The scroll is no longer shut. The mantle is no longer waiting. You've been tested. You've been tried. And still, you remained. And that is the mark of the chosen. You have been hidden. You have been hunted. But now, you are being heralded. Heaven has issued your release, and the earth is about to echo your obedience. If this word unlocked something ancient inside you, comment 777 below. If it felt like confirmation, say so. Declare what part awakened your spirit, and let your voice join the chorus of the remnant rising. Subscribe to Echoes of the Chosen, not just for content, but to stay connected to your global family of fire-marked ones. You are not alone. You are the next echo.